Hello and welcome to Greedy MTG, the world's finest Magic the Gathering YouTube channel created by a 5th grader. Today I'll be playing a standard deck, and it is a Raise the Past standard deck. Raise the Past is a 2 in white sorcery that says return all creatures with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And the reason I'm playing it right after Edge of Eternities released is because the most important card for a deck is Umbral Collar Zealot. It's 1 black, 3/2. It says sacrifice another creature or artifact to surveil 1. So the way you win is you fill your graveyard with cards like Umbral Collar Zealot. You need one of these. Vengeful Blood Witches, which is 1 black, 1/1. When it or another creature you control dies, the opponent loses life and you gain life. Plus a bunch of random creatures that say when they die, create another creature, like Nezumi, Linkbreaker, black for 1/1. When dies, create 1/1 Mercenary. Infestation Sage, black for 1/1. When dies, create 1/1 Flying Black-Green Insect with Flying. Nesting Ball, white for a start your engines 1/1. When it dies, create 1/1 color with Servo. Max speed, gets +1 with 0. And if you get those in your graveyard, you play Raise the Past, you return them all battlefield. Umbral Collar Zealot lets you for free sacrifice these janky creatures. Each time you get surveil 1, so you get fill your graveyard for another Raise the Past, plus find the second Raise the Past. And usually that won't actually matter because kill them all on turn. Because each time you sacrifice one of these, you get another creature, you get another token, and you drain the opponent for at least 1. For each Vengeful Blood Witch you have, you drain the opponent for 1. So you can very easily kill opponent, plus just attacking with these janky creatures lets you do a lot of damage, a little bit of damage, and sometimes even a lot early game before you play the Raise Past. There's also Bartolome, a white black for 2/1, sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a counter on it. The problem with this though is it doesn't surveil, and surveilling is very important because it lets you fill your graveyard, and killing opponent with damage is not the plan, really. So it just lets go in Umbral Collar Zealot, plus it's a legendary creature. Plus I have 2 Sephiroth, it's 2 in black, 3/3. When it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card, and whenever any creature dies, opponent loses life and you gain life. If this is the 4th time this trigger is resolved this turn, you transform it into a 5/5 flying. When it transforms, you get the emblem that says when a creature dies, the opponent loses life and gain life. And when Sephiroth attacks, you can sacrifice a number of creatures and draw that many cards. So it's an extremely good card. The biggest problem with it, the reason I'm not playing 4, is it doesn't get Raise the Past, because it's a 3-drop. But it is absolutely busted. And other than cheap creatures that say when they die, create another creature, sack outlets like Umbral Collar Zealot and Bartolome, drain cards like Vengeful Blood Witch and Sephiroth, plus, of course, 3 Raise the Past. I have 4 Corrupted Convictions, which is black. In addition, cast it, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 instant. So the way you survive to cast the Raise the Past is you play janky creatures like Nezumi, Linkbreaker, Infestation Sage, or Nesting Ball. You chump with them, and either you sacrifice them to Corrupted Conviction, so you draw 2, and you don't take any damage unless it's trample. Or you can have Umbral Collar Zealot or Bartolome, so you just sacrifice them to either put a counter on Bartolome or surveil 1. And another reason I'm playing this deck is because Monstrous Rage got banned pretty recently, so it's way easier to survive through blocking, because there's very little trample, aside from the Green Lampo deck. And the final way I survive to cast the Raise the Past and win the game is Eaten Alive and Dusk Rose Reliquary. I have 2 Dusk Rose Reliquaries. They're white for artifact. In addition, cast it, sacrifice or artifact or creature, reward 2. When it enters exile, artifact or creature and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Plus 4 Eaten Lives, which is black sorcery. In addition, cast it, sacrifice a creature or pay 3 and black. Exile target creature or planeswalker. You almost never play 3 and black, pay 3 and black. It's just black, exile creature, planeswalker, and sacrifice creature. These cards are mainly for the Green Lampo deck, which can build really big boards of trampled creatures like Mossborn, Hydra, and Tifa. And they even have protection spells, usually, so you really need removal to survive against that deck. But I hope I get to do some really cool, fun Raise the Past shenanigans and win a lot of games. Okay, this hand looks good. There's Eaten Alive and Discouraged Reliquary for removal. Infestation Sage as a cheap creature that says when it dies, create token, and Vengeful Blood, which has a drain outlet plus 3 lands. So I only need 1 more land to draw Raise the Past to cast Raise the Past when I draw it. So I will lead on Concealed Courtyard and play Infestation Sage. Technically, because it says when it dies, create a token, you can Eaten Alive plus Discouraged Reliquary with it. They would play a Hinterland Sanctifier. I drew a Eaten Alive. I would just play a Swamp and play a Vengeful Blood Witch. Pass the turn. I drew another Eaten Alive, so it would be very nice if I could draw another cheap creature like Infestation Sage. Raise the Past is, of course, a draw, as it always is, unless you have another Raise Past in hand. I drew a Swamp, which is not great. It's fine though. I will play a I guess Eaten Alive. I don't think it really matters because the opponent probably won't have any Planeswalkers, but they also probably won't have any artifacts. So cast that, exile their Essence Channeler. Drain opponent, create insect, and I will just pass. They play a Healer's Hawk. That is fine, that just trades with my insect. And a Rune Lurker Bat. That is also fine. The only things I really care about are cards that say when they die, do something. Okay, I drew a Bartolome. That is not horrible. But I really need, like, Raise the Past or random creatures like Infestation Sage or Nesting Bot. They play Exemplar of Light. Okay, that will get humongous, so I'll definitely have to Discourage Reliquary that. They get to draw 1 card. They pass the turn. That is good for me because that means they are scared of attacking into me. I drew a Sephiroth, which was one of my best draws. I'll play that, and I could sacrifice either Bartolome or the insect to draw a card. If I sacrifice Bartolome, get a couple of drains. No, I'll just decline, and then I'll play a Sister's Reliquary, sacrificing this insect, and then get 1 Sephiroth trigger and 1 Vengeful Blood would trigger drain opponent for 2, and then I get to exile their Exemplar of Light. Next, combat, no attacks, and pass the turn. If I draw a land, I can just hardcast this Eaten Alive, which isn't great, but I don't have any cheap creatures anymore, so it might be my only option. If they play something big like an Exemplar of Light. Nice thing is basically any draw lets me play Eaten Alive. Except, I guess, a tap land like Concealed Courtyard or Shadowy Backstreet. They play a Sheltered by Ghost that can get rid of my Discouraged Reliquary. But that's fine. Because I get to kill their Hinterland Sanctifier, which lets me get the Discouraged Reliquary back and kill their Exemplar of Light. Looks like they're going to attack for 2 in the air, but luckily I'm only going down to 21 because I gained a lot of life off the drains. They get 2 triggers off the Exemplar. I was like, where were those triggers? And they pass. I drew a Corrupted Conviction, which is not bad. I guess I'll just play that on the Bartolome. Oh, shoot, yeah. I kind of decided I won't do the killing the Hinterland Sanctifier plan with Eaten Alive. Draw 2, I drew Zumi, Link Breaker, and Raise the Past. That is basically the best possible draw. Now I can play the Link Breaker, play Eaten Live, sacrifice a creature, kill their Exemplar. The creature will, surprise, being a Zumi Link Breaker. I get to create a 1/1 and drain the opponent for 2. And now that they have no blockers, I get to attack with Sephiroth. And that lets me sacrifice this Mercenary to draw a card and drain the opponent for 2 more. Plus I drew a very nice nesting bot here. Sadly, I'm 1 trigger away from transforming Sephiroth. I can't sack this nesting bot, which is not great, but I will be able to transform it next turn by playing this Raise the Past. They play another Exemplar Blade that I sadly do not have removal for. That's why I play some of my removal spells in my deck. Down to 25, they're up to 18. I drew a Plains. So I can return these from my graveyard to a battlefield. That gives me I should probably just attack with the nesting bot first though, to get into my graveyard and get some more drain triggers. Yeah. Go combat attack with the nesting bot. I guess a Vengeful Blood Witch too, because it's dying. Or I'll Raise the Past it back if it dies. They just take it because they are smart. Well, at least it's some free damage. So I play the Plains and play Raise the Past. Bring some stuff back, and then I get to use Bart to sack this nesting bot. Put counter on Bart. Drain the opponent. Sack the Link Breaker. I think I actually have lethal here. Now I sack that. Drain the opponent. They're down to 10. Sack this. Okay, and now I'll actually transform Sephiroth. They're down to 8, and I have a transform Sephiroth. Now sacrifice Infestation Sage. Actually, do I have enough? Okay, so that gets them down 4. That gets them down 2. Wow, I have enough. Exactly. Sacrifice this insect. Drain the opponent for 2. I have exactly enough. That is insane. Sacrifice Sephiroth because it doesn't do anything because the emblem's what's doing the draining. And now I sacrifice Vengeful Blood Witch, which is Xaxes. Wow, that Xaxes was crazy. I was not ready for that backup Exemplar of Light. That almost got me. If I didn't have Xaxes, I might have lost the game to that card. But, I mean, that is a very nice game. Really showcasing, you know, what Raise the Past can do. And hopefully I get some more games like that. This deck is nice because it's like a combo deck, but a lot of combo decks are a lot harder to do a combo. This is a pretty easy deck to do a combo. You'll get like 50% of the games at least. Okay, this hand is extremely nice. I have Eaten Live for removal, Nesting Bot, and Nezumi Link Breaker, plus a Umbral Collar Zealot. Lead with Plains and a Nesting Bot to get my speed going. They play a Swamp and pass the turn. I'll play a Swamp, go combat attack for 1. Play this Umbral Collar Zealot. And pass. They play a Swamp and they shoot the Sheriff my Umbral Collar Zealot. That is fine. I'll just raise past it, and I top deck raise past, which is extremely lucky, and I will keep that swamp on top, so I can 100% cast the raise past. I get my speed up to 3 and play this Nezumi Link Breaker. Next turn, if I really need to, I can play double Eaten Alive. They play a Demon Mole, and they pass the turn. I will play Swamp, and I guess I just killed their Demon Mole with this Eaten Alive. Doesn't feel great, but like they're probably an Unholy Yanks deck if they're playing Demon Mole, so it's probably better just to get the demon off the board. They play a Preacher of the Schism. That's also a good target for his Eaten Alive plus Edge of Bartolome, which is not horrible. So we'll play that, play this Eaten Alive, sack the creature, kill the Preacher of the Schism. Oh shoot, Z. Cancel. I will first tap this to give this +1 0, and then I will play this Eaten Alive on the Preacher of the Schism, sacking this mercenary. And now I get to get him for 3. Okay. That's better. Corrupted Conviction is on my list for the best draws. Sephiroth is really good. As usual, they feed the Swarm this. That's destroy, so I don't care about that. And they lose a little bit of life, so they're down to 12 already. They play Dark Confidant. Okay. Well, that means one thing, and that one thing is the opponent is Death Shadow deck. If they're playing Feed the Storm and Bob, then they're definitely a Death Shadow deck. They're probably playing Cecil. And I hope they don't draw Cecil, because they're at a low life total. I really need to draw a Sephiroth or a Vengeful Blood Witch. Those are 2 best draws. All I need is 1 Drain and Raise Past for lethal. Because I have 1, 2, 3. What? They Bitter Triumph and Nezumi Link Breaker? That is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. What type of removal spell is that? Okay, they play a Preacher of the Schism. I just play Nezumi Link Breaker. And pass the turn. Just need a drain. Just need a single drain. Okay, they play a Swamp, and this Preacher's luckily only creating Lifelinkers. They attack. I will, I guess, jump with the Link Breaker just because it gets in the graveyard for the Raise Past. They play a Ritual Chamber, no surprise. I knew they were an Unholy Yanks deck, and that's a Umbral Collar Zealot. So, play that. Now they do have a little bit of life gain, though. It's not great. Pass the turn. They play a Swamp, unlock Glow Unholy Yanks. Pass 2 attackers. They attack with Preacher of Schism only. I will pass to blockers. I will chump. And then before damage, sack it to Surveil 1. Definitely don't need planes. Just need something good. There's a Vengeful Blood Witch. Graveyard it because I like it in my graveyard for the Raise Past. And I can basically just say good game. I guess that's fine. I mean, I think it's just game. Play Raise Past. Bring back the biggest board ever. Activate the Umbral Collar Zealot. Sack the Nezumi Link Breaker. And even if they did draw a removal off the Unholy Yanks, which isn't very likely, I get to kill my Vengeful Blood Witch. I just get to sack my whole board in response and drain them out. Unless, because Split Second is not a thing in this format. Plus, I'll just reveal basically everything that isn't Raise the Past to try to get a big board in case they somehow survive this. I don't think it's possible. So I'll just Grizz Reliquary is going to graveyard. Check this. Yeah, there's just no way. I literally just have to make a mistake if I lose this. That's 1 hit. Wait, actually, this should be enough, but I'm not sure anymore. That's why I have to set up for the Raise the Past, in case it's not enough. Oh, it's actually not enough. Wow, that sucks. Wait. Yeah, I don't think this is enough. Oh, they conceded. Was it enough? Okay, yeah, it was enough. I was so worried because I realized it might actually not be enough. But, it is enough because they're at 3. I sack this, that's 1. Sack this is 2. Sack Vengeful Blood Witch, that's 3 because it says when each creature or another creature you control would die. So it would trigger. It was Xaxes. Plus, even though they scooped, if they didn't scoop and it wasn't Xaxes, they'd probably still win because I had surveillance so deep I'd finally find a Raise the Past. Plus, I had a sack card. Okay, this hand is very interesting. I'll keep it even though it doesn't have Raise the Past or any cheat creatures because I have Drain, I have sack outlets. Plenty of sack outlets. Plus, I have the best ones so I can surveil. And they actually do hit pretty hard, so if opponent has a really bad draw, I might be able to beat them. Okay, they play Fanatical Firebrand. Looks like they might be a Goblin deck. I drew a Vengeful Blood Witch, which I guess is fine. But I'll just place Umbral Collar Zealot, because it blocks the best, and it attacks the best. They play a Mountain, and play a Ember Challenger, so maybe they're just small red aggro deck that plays Fanatical Firebrand. They pass the turn. They're scared of the Umbral Collar Zealot. That is actually hilarious. Now play a Bartolome. A Fanatical Firebrand, that's fine. I'll just sack it to surveil 1. Swamp. Okay, Infestation Sage is not bad. But I really needed I need a black source with it anyway, so it's not worth it. And because they're scared of trading with this Umbral Collar Zealot, I'm just leaving it back on defense as a very nice attacker, or a very nice blocker. They shock it, so there goes my Umbral Collar Zealot. But I'm setting up for a very, very, very nice Raise the Past when I draw it. Okay, I drew a Corrupted Conviction, which is not great. I'll just place Vengeful Blood Witch and pass the turn. If only this plains was a swamp, then I'd be able to eat and live their Ember Challenger sacking this Vengeful Blood Witch. And then, like, the next turn play another one and sack it to Corrupted Conviction to draw 2. Looks like they might have a removal spell. No, they just look at Vengeful Blood Witch and attack for 4. Okay, things are getting not great, but I drew a Bleach Bone Verge, which is not bad, so I can now play this Vengeful Blood Witch. And play this Eaten Alive to kill one of their Ember Challengers. And drain the opponent for 2, so I'm up to 10. No decks, in case they have a lot of spells. Okay, they play a Mountain, they finally hit their land drop, they play a High Claw, they play a Burst Lightning on my Vengeful Blood Witch. Okay, drain the opponent. What I really need is some type of Raise the Past. Why does it say type of? I just need a Raise the Past. Nesting Bot is not a Raise the Past, but it's also not bad. Play a Umbral Collar Zealot. Play a Nesting Bot when the opponent lets me resolve his Collar Zealot. Play the Nesting Bot. Now pass the turn. Problem is I know opponent has 2 non-lands in hand because they're missing land drops. Okay, they play another land, so at least they don't have 3 non-lands in hand. They go to attackers, they attack with High Claw and then Ember Challenger. I will let that resolve. They burst like in my Umbral Collar Zealot. guess I sacrifice it. To surveil 1. Or sacrifice the bot to surveil 1. And I will definitely graveyard this Bartolome. And actually, yeah, I'll just let them kill Umbral Collar Zealot. I could Corrupted Conviction it, but I'm going Corrupted Conviction the servo. Block there's Ember Challenger and Corrupted Conviction. Okay, it's now or never. I have 3 draws at Raise the Past. Nothing. Last draw. Nothing. Okay, I still am not completely dead though. Surveil 1. I'll graveyard this. But time is running very short. I am basically at 4, so okay, they play Ember Challenger. I then literally just die if they have anything. Oh, that does not do it. That is not game. That's not game. I block. I go down to 2. Now it's Raise the Past. Corrupted Conviction into Raise the Past. I drew a Corrupted Conviction. Okay, I have 41 cards in deck. What are the odds? No, 4 Raise the Past in deck. And I drew Raise the Past. Raise the Past. Now I'll hit them back with a good game. I have Umbral Bartolome. Drain the pump for 2 with his Vengeful Blood Witch. Umbral Collar Zealot to sack his Nesting Bot. I'm pretty sure they didn't know that the Nezumi Linkbreaker created a creature when it died. Drain the pump for 2 more with this Umbral Collar Zealot sacking. Guess I'll graveyard Infestation Sage. Sacrifice the servo. Drain the pump for 2. Surveil 1. I will graveyard a Desperate Throw query, but really does not matter. And the opponent concedes. They hit me with the GGs because they thought I was dead, but they lost because clearly my janky creatures are just too good. That was really lucky and really unlucky at the same time. Because I was unlucky for not drawing the Raise Past in the earlier in the game, but I was lucky for drawing it right when I finally needed it. But happy I beat Mono Red because it's like meta deck-ish. After Monstrous Rage and Heartfire got banned, it's less of a meta deck. But anyway, this hand is good. It has 3 lands that give me all my colors, and I have Nesting Ball, Bartolome, a Corrupted Conviction, and a Eaten Alive. Okay, I will lead with a Concealed Courtyard and play this Nesting Bot. Honestly, at this point, my best draw is probably just like Infestation Sage. They play a Swamp, so they're Orzhov. They play a Seam Rip for my Nesting Bot. That is really, really annoying. Who knew Seam Rip, the best card they could possibly have? I will play a Bleachbone Burge and play a Nezumi Linkbreaker. The reason I played a untapped land instead of the Shaoyi Backstreet is so I could leave up Corrupted Conviction for the Linkbreaker. In case they want to Seam Rip it or something. Okay, they get lost it. Honestly, that might be fine. The maps are pretty useful. So I'll let that resolve. Then I think I just sack it though. Looks like they're a Orzhov control deck. I drew Umbral Collar Zealot and a Corrupted Conviction. So I'll play a Plains. Plus, I just drew a Raise the Past, which is really, really nice. I'll pass the turn, leaving up this Corrupted Conviction. Plus, I could sacrifice these mats to surveil 1, and the opponent concedes for some reason. Sure. My best guess is either they had to go somewhere, or they were missing land drops, and control decks just can't miss land drops. Because I drew a Raise the Past, I had a good chance of winning anyway, but you never know. Okay, this hand is good. I have all my colors. I have 4 cheap creatures that say when they die, create another creature, so I have nothing else. They put in Leyline of Hope on turn 1, which means they are the life gain deck that I believe we saw earlier. The Exemplars of Light and the Hair Parents. Okay, they lead with a Leonin Vanguard. I will go to combat and attack for 1 with the Nesting Bot. I hope they trade. I doubt they'll trade, but I hope they trade. Yep, after thinking for a while, they decide not to trade. I will now play a Plains, play this Nesting Bot, and play this Infestation Sage. Give your opponent a big annoying board to try to fight through. They play a Plains. Also, this Umbral Collar Zealot was an amazing draw last turn because it lets me dig for Raise the Past and put graveyard a bunch of cards I want in my graveyard. I drew a Corrupted Conviction, which is a very, very nice draw. Because of that, I'll play Shadowy Backstreet, play Nizumi Link Breaker. I will actually keep Corrupted Conviction. Maybe I won't play Link Breaker then. Guess I'll just pass the turn. Leave up Corrupted Conviction into Corrupted Conviction. I was going to play Link Breaker on the Conviction, but after I see this, I think it's better. Oh shoot, I realized I can't actually do that because of my mana. Yeah, I did not look too carefully and realized, yeah. Should have just played this Umbral Collar Zealot, but whoops. I don't know if I would have done anything differently other than playing the Collar Zealot though. I think I'd still leave this on top. They play a Hinterland Sanctifier. I guess no, it's not Hero Parent. For some reason I said Hero Parent earlier, but it's Hinterland Sanctifier. They play Shelter by Ghost, that's why I left up this Corrupted Conviction. Whoever I target, I'll just Corrupted Conviction. They target my Infestation Sage, I will Corrupted Conviction that, get a 1/1 Fire, draw 2. I drew Infestation Sage and a Corrupted Conviction. Okay, I drew a Swamp, which is really nice. I can now place Umbral Collar Zealot, play a Infestation Sage, and pass the turn, leaving up Umbral Collar Zealot, sack anything, or Corrupted Conviction. I could attack with this Insect, but I'm just trying to be ultra safe. I guess the 2 things I'm missing are Sephiroth or Vengeful Blood Witch, plus the Raise the Past. They play Banishing Light, targeting my Umbral Collar Zealot. It's going Corrupted Conviction, but first I think I would just sack a Infestation Sage to Surveil 1. And I'll keep that Eaten alive, and now I will Corrupted Conviction second to draw 2. I drew a Vengeful Blood Witch, so that is the card I was looking for, other than Raise the Past. Next turn I can go Nizumi, Link Breaker, Vengeful Blood Witch, and into Eaten alive, which will be a very nice turn. And opponent just can't attack through my board, really, other than with the Johnny's Primate. And even if they attack with that, I might just quadruple block, because I want everything in graveyard, so they decide to not attack. I will play this Concealed Courtyard. Place Vengeful Blood Witch. Play this Nizumi Link Breaker. And place Eaten alive on their Johnny's Primate, sacrificing a Nizumi Link Breaker. I don't know if Johnny's Primate's better than Leonin Vanguard, honestly, but I'm just going to kill a big thing so I can start attacking after these Nesting Bots get up to 4 speed. The thing about Johnny's Primate, it just does not attack through my jump blockers, but very little does. The biggest problem right now is if they can kill my Vengeful Blood Witch or exile it with like a Banishing Light, then I'm screwed because I can't raise past a exiled thing. So my best draw is probably Corrupted Conviction or Raise the Past. I just need them to attack so I could get these nesting bots in the graveyard. That'll be actually very nice. I hope they tap out and then attack. Tap out for like Exemplar of Light. Yep, they play Exemplar of Light. That is totally fine with me, as I said. It is a big blocker, but that's fine. And there's Raise Pass, so I can just say good game. They have one lifelinker, so first I can just ult attack, I think. Because I want things in my graveyard, especially these nesting bots. Yeah, I'll attack with these. I probably should have used a mercenary, but I just want things to die. So either they Hinterland Sanctify or my nesting bot. Which they do. So now I drain the opponent. Opponent gets to put counter on that and draw a card. But now I got a nesting bot in my graveyard. I get to drain opponent for a little bit, hit them for a little bit, and now I can play this Raise Past, bring back everything, and now I can start cooking. Sack this Infestation Sage, drain the opponent for 1, create a 1/1. But I don't think I can kill them, but I think I can just find another Raise Past so I win the next turn. So I just reveal everything into a graveyard that isn't Raise Past. I might have lethal. I don't think I do because opponent's at high lethal and I only have one Vengeful Blood Witch. That is a Raise Past, so I will keep that. It's not great. I was hoping I get some more creatures into a graveyard first, but this is fine. Now I think about it, I probably should have just surveilled that Raise Past into a graveyard so I could get a way bigger board. I guess I just passed now that they're down to 14 because it's 4 or 5. Yeah, it's not even close to lethal. But I did a lot of damage to them. They play a Healer's Hawk, that is fine. They gain life, they get a counter on the Exemplar. They play a Runelurker Bat, they gain another life. I guess it's technically 2 life because of the Line of Hope. Yeah, I might actually lose this game. I shouldn't lose this game, but I lost. If I lose, it's because I kept this Raise Past on top. They play a Shelter by Ghost. Do they target the correct one? Yep, they target the Umbral Collar Zealot, so I might actually die. Now I believe I have to surveil that into a graveyard. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, Bartolome, that's good. That means now I just have to find out Raise Past. Raise Past, come on, I know there's Raise Past there. Somewhere in there. Near Raise Past about right now. There's the Raise Past. Perfect. They are up to pretty high life total. get Trump here, but they gain Wall of Life. They're up 20 something, 22. Down 21. Okay, this is it. Do I have lethal? Okay, it's probably lethal actually. Crack when nesting block. Oh, actually, I don't think it's lethal. Yeah. Am I going to come this far just to lose? Because that's what it's looking like. I have a huge Bartolome. I really need the second drain outlet. I just think it looks like I'm going to lose this whole game just because of a mistake I made. They play Essence Channeler, so they gain 2. Luckily, they'll only be able to gain a little more life. Oh, that's a Sanctifier. That's another 2 life. Okay, they play Plains. That's good. So they gain another 2 life, so they're up to 21. But I'm not completely dead. They just attack with Exemplar of Light. So pass to blockers. Guess I chump with Insect. And Sack Insect. This is a wild game. Okay, go to my turn. I drew a Eaten Alive. Okay, it's actually not bad. So I get to Eaten Alive, sacrificing a creature, kill their Leonin Vanguard. Get go combat, no attacks, and pass. This is a wild game, wow. Okay, they looks like they drew a land because they just went to combat. They attack for 14. 15. Okay, I will go to blockers. Block, or no, I have to block the lifelinker. So block lifelinker, sack it, surveil 1. And that means they don't gain life. I'm just trying to prevent as much life gain as I can. Vengeful Blood Witch definitely goes into a graveyard. So I mean, Raise the Past should win me. Now I have another Vengeful Blood Witch. Okay, have to start sacking. Surveil. Saw Vengeful Blood Witch. This is so stressful. Okay, sack. Vengeful Blood Witch. Okay, Eaten Alive is not a Vengeful Blood Witch. Sack. Or is not Raise the Past. I don't think I'm going to do it. Sack. No. Sack. No. And no. But I don't know if I die this turn. So that's the upside. Downside, or the bad part is I am super close to dead. And opponents gain a lot of life. Have a couple more turns though. Plus they're attacking pretty lightly. I am down to 10 though. I need to Raise Past. Have a couple more draws for it. Opponent can't do anything except gain more life, but I don't think it'll matter because I have so much in my graveyard. I drew 2 Raise Past, so I have 2 more in my deck. Okay, they pass. Okay, not a Raise the Past. Final Sacrifice. And not Raise the Past. Okay, have one more draw. One draw. That's Raise the Past! This game. I play it, and now that is 100% lethal. There's just no way that is not lethal. I have 7 creatures that say when they die, do something. So, sack, plus I have 2 drainers. Sack, create 1/1, drain the opponent for 2. Doesn't matter. Sack, surveil 1, drain the opponent for 2, create 1/1. Doesn't matter. Really, like, the only way I could lose is if I accidentally sack my Vengeful Blood Witch. Both of them. Sack. Drain the opponent for 2. Doesn't matter. Sack. Drain the opponent for 2. I have 2 more Infestation Sages, which create 2 more creatures, plus I have 5 tokens already. And the opponent concedes. Even though I made that humongous mistake which was not digging for another Raise the Past after first Raise the Past, I was still able to just barely win. I cast 2 humongous Raise the Pasts and it didn't win me a game. It was the 3rd one that won me a game because the opponent was gaining so much life. That will be it for the game part of today. I'll just do another. I'll just do a wrap up of the deck. I mean, I'm pretty sure I didn't lose a single game, so that's a good sign. 4 Raise the Past, of course, and like I got really lucky with drawing them. I think I drew them a lot of times, like the last possible turn. Sephiroth, I drew like once, so it wasn't, I didn't really get to see how powerful it was. Umbral Collar Zealot is busted. Raise the Past just got so much better after Umbral Collar Zealot. Not only is it sack outlet, another sack outlet, because before there's only Bartolome as a sack outlet that's not very true or less, but it also fills your graveyard. So even if you don't win off first Raise Pass, you could fill your graveyard and find a second one. Of course, Vengeful Blood Witches are the most important card in the deck. The Link Breaker's pretty good. They basically just create 1/1s, and Nesting Watch basically just create 1/1s. But the Infestation Sage really impressed me because having flying is super important. There are a lot of flyers, and the fact that it creates fire lets you like block bats, block huge flyers. There are just a lot of flyers in the meta. 4/10 lives, it really helps to have removal. Sometimes you'll just die if you don't have it. Corrupted Conviction felt really nice, being able to like block with a random 1/1 that says when it dies, create another creature, then sacrifice it before doing damage, draw 2, and now you get 1/1. Discourse Reliquary felt fine. It's not as good as E10 Live. I think if I placed it some more, I would swap it for another E10 Live type spell because there are a lot of cards that can remove it, like a Braid, and as we saw, Shelter by Ghost can remove it. This deck was great. If you're looking for a deck that can win a lot of games and rank up really quickly, then this is the deck you should play. That will be it for today. See you next time on Greedy MTG.